What's up, beautiful PewTubers? It's your boy Justin with Cerebral Firearms, and today we are talking about the M18 SIG's winner for the Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, and Marine new sidearm. This thing has the ups, the downs, the all-arounds, lawsuits, and anything else you could think of. SIG won a lot of contracts for the government. This is one of those, and one of the more popular ones. Now that it's in the civilian market, a lot of people are going towards this. I'm going to tell you why I like it, why I don't like it, and what I think in the end. Let's get it. Before we jump into the M18, I want to talk about XSTEEL Targets. XSTEEL Targets is a great company with AR-500 and AR-550 steel at a beautiful price. Keyword Cerebral at checkout gets you 10% off your entire order and helps out the channel. Another way you can support the channel is by giving us a super thanks. Everything that you guys donate to the channel will go into the channel for both ammo and more guns, baby. The M18 and M17 are now integral staples in the military and law enforcement departments across the nation. Now that it has been afforded to the civilian market, individuals are jumping into the SIG wave like never before. For this reason, when my buddy asked me if I would like to review this gun, I had zero hesitations. This firearm had already seen its own wear and tear and had already 1,000 rounds through it before I had even placed it into my hands. When I got a hold of the firearm, I pretended as if nothing had been placed through the gun. I lubed it like I do all of my new firearms and started at it with a mixture of 115, 124, and 147 grain ammo with flat and rounded nose projectiles, along with a box of defensive ammo and some hollow points. We'll get into all that later. First, I wanted to go over some of the specs associated with the SIG M18 series. Adopted by the United States military as a whole, minus the Army, the M18 has some great features and a couple that come up just a little short. Typically, I hate external safeties on my pistol sidearms, but SIG absolutely listened to research and development and placed the safety in one of the best spots imaginable. Taking an additional step and placing it in an area that makes the step negligible was an amazing feat. When you reach into your holster, your thumb is placed in the exact spot as the safety, making it seamless to depress and get on target with a great purchase on the gun. The other things that make this SIG awesome are the takedown lever and the modular firing control unit. Now, SIG fans are quick to make fun of Glock fanboys within the community. Their major gripe with Glock is that if it is indeed perfection, then why does everyone have to switch out parts on the Glock like Legos? Well, now SIG fans are starting to do the same thing with their firearms. Utilizing the modular fire control unit, each user has the distinct ability to cater their needs to different platforms and build any handgun they want and appealing their needs to the task at hand. Wilson Combat and Icarus are phenomenal upgrades, along with compensators, trigger swaps, trigger bar upgrades, and changing out guide rods are all things that Glock owners were able to do and proud of to do, but now SIG lovers can partake as well. The market has been flooded with excellent accessories for this now booming platform. As I previously alluded to, the takedown lever is one of the most prolific amenities to the SIG, allowing the user to disassemble even the most damaged of pistols. This is a downfall in the Glock design that SIG manufacturers noticed and designed perfectly. With that said, I have seen my fair share of takedown levers break in the P320 platform, especially on the competitive shooting scene. The gas pedals that some use are a great upgrade, especially those trying to correct thumb placement while shooting a pistol. Another thing to highlight that I enjoy about the pistol, at least more so than most polymer striker fire pistols, is the trigger. The trigger has a nice little take-up, good wall, weird sounding break, and then a nice tactile reset. It sports a 6.5 to 5 pound trigger pull that feels good, making accuracy easy, especially with the combat hold and the great X-ray sight system. Another great amenity that is awesome to mention is the stainless steel slide with a Coyote PVD finish. It is definitely inferior to the Glock 19X finish, but gives a nice 50 shades of FDE look to the pistol that is usually renowned to things such as the FN Scar. Now let's get into how it felt to shoot. The Sig M18 was a little snappy to shoot at first, especially when I'm used to shooting that X5 Legion. The combat hold can definitely also be a little difficult to get used to. Another term for this is driving the dots, which means that the bullet lands behind the night sight dot of the front sight instead of the tip of the front sight as seen in this picture. It makes it easier for the point and shoot aspect as opposed to the more precision shooting, which is exactly what the military is designed for. Another great feature is that, like many Glocks, the trigger shoots in. After 1,000 or more rounds, the trigger feels a lot better than it did out of the box. I found that not only did the trigger feel more crisp, but the creep starts to become lessened and the wall gets a lot lighter. Now for some downfalls of the M18, at least in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of the grip, although it has some very nice feeling ergonomics, fitting in the hand like a nice pair of gloves. The texturing leaves a lot on the table. Also, on most of the earlier models, the optics plate takes the rear sight completely off when placing a red dot on. This was later fixed by SIG engineers, which is remarkable as they seem to be listening to the consumer. Last thing I want to speak on is the major lawsuits that SIG is facing due to the quote-unquote accidental discharge from the P320. Although I'm always rather suspicious of these, there have been a large number reported, and today, a 140-page lawsuit from police departments across the nation. Now, we all know how lackluster police training is in comparison to those of us that live and breathe firearms. So that means accidents happen to those that aren't strictly adhering to the fundamental rules of firearms. I'm not saying that these were all 100% on the police officers at hand, but I'm definitely skeptical at least some of them. With that said, SIG Mechanic has done a wonderful job of highlighting the internal safety mechanisms of this firearm. So if this is why you aren't buying a SIG, educate yourself before buying into some of the clickbait you see on YouTube. Overall, the Sig M18 is a decent striker-fired polymer pistol. We had zero malfunctions throughout the review, period. And the person who owns it stated they had zero malfunctions as well. The slide failed to lock back on the last round a couple of times, but that happens frequently to me as I tend to ride the slide very high with my supportive hand. The 21 round magazines were the only ones that I used, and I absolutely love these. I use them in my X5 Legion during competitive shooting, and the only downfall they have is the price point at $50 a piece. The modularity of this pistol is phenomenal and is next to none in the current market. You can have numerous builds of different pistols all from a single FCU. So the question is, do you buy the P320 or do you just buy the FCU? Do I think that they should have won the contract for the military over the 19X? Probably not. But only time will tell how polymer holds up 30 plus years of constant service. Glock eventually lost due to its price point, in my opinion, but both models are excellent in the hands of an experienced end user. The M18 has its place in the civilian market. The only thing you need to figure out is whether or not it has a place in your armory. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click that like and subscribe button and give some love to your local mental health charities. Also hit up that super thanks if you love this video. Remember, learn, train, and evolve, baby.